Hello, my name is Beata, and today I will talk about SC-900 exam, so exam about cybersecurity, and the the proper name for this exam is Microsoft Certified Security Compliance and Identity Fundamentals. If you want to know more about the resources, how to pass this exam, so I can share with you this link. Some time ago, I prepared this. This post about this is my opinion or my recommendations about preparation for this exam. So uh, okay, I see that there is in Polish a part of the text, so I need to fix this issue. So in this entry, you can find information about recommended videos, recommended courses, or other stuff. And also, I prepared another post about materials to pass AZ 900, SC 900, and AI 900. So next workshop and next Tuesday. I think, and how you can study. There is a list with 13 positions, 13 different links. How to prepare to pass this SC 900 exam. But today I want to I want to show you how you can prepare to this exam, and I found a nice quiz with 100 questions. Of course, there's a special practice assessment prepared by Microsoft. So in the when you check this first link, first entry in my blog, you can find this information about this practice assessment. But today I want to share with you another resource, another website. So Microsoft Certified Security Compliance and Identity Fundamentals. So 100 different queries which can prepare, and the queries can prepare you how to pass this exam. And this quiz is not intended to simulate the actual exam, so it means this is not some kind of dump. So those questions are not real. So it means that this is only this quiz is intended to check your knowledge or to ask you about your knowledge about compliance, identity, and security. So I think that we can start. Maybe I can switch my camera off because I want to switch between different monitors. So first query, and of course, if you know the proper answer, so you can do this test with me. And I think that uh, I I want to show you how to think during the exam and how to answer the queries. And first query is about the responsibility, so the same topic as for exam AZ 900, so Azure Fundamentals. So the question is that according to the shared responsibility model, which of the following computing models places the most responsibility on the cloud service provider? So CSP, and four possible answers. First answer, private cloud. So this is not true because in private cloud, I am in 100% responsible for my infrastructure. So I am responsible for servers, for network, for operating system, for all for all topics and all objects. The second, infrastructure as a service. It is not true. Why? Because in infrastructure as a service, uh, Infrastructure as a service means that I want to create a VM and I want to install on this VM, for example, Windows or Red Hat or Ubuntu or other system, and then I want to install all needed libraries and all apps and all other stuff. So this is not true because IaaS means that uh, Microsoft only sell me or provide me a VM, but I am responsible for this VM, for updates, for all installation or other procedures. And then platform as a service, the same. Platform as a service means that um, I am I am also responsible for installing different software or installing different apps and software as a service. So the last one in software as a service, I am responsible for. Uh, I am responsible only for the settings, for the configuration, and for the data. So it means that software as a service uh, a real example is, for example, Office 365. So Office 365 services. So I only need to buy a subscription. Then I only need to type, for example, admin.microsoft.com, and I am able to use Windows. So I only need to provide my credentials like username and password and, for example, MFA code, and I can use this Word. And I am responsible for data in this Word, for documents, sometimes for configuration if I want to change something in this Word. But for the whole infrastructure, this is a Microsoft responsibility. So if something wrong happened with the infrastructure, so the Microsoft is responsible for this topic. So the proper answer is software as a service. The next question, to implement a defense in depth security methodology with all the given measures will an organization implement? So if we want to secure our data, if we want to secure our organization, so a corporate network with no segmentation. No, this is not a good idea. Then multi-factor authentication for all users. Yeah, this is a good answer, a proper answer. Why? Because because it means that all user need to use multi-factor authenticator. So, for example, Microsoft Authenticator app or Google Authenticator app, or maybe YubiKey or other keys, and then locating all its servers in a single physical location. I am not sure if this is a good idea to locate all your servers in a single physical location. For example, something like root or something else. So it means that you can lost all your servers, and all of these are no, it is not true. So in my opinion, the best answer in this case is the second answer, like multi-factor authentication for all users. So it means defense in depth because I can be sure that okay, multi-factor authenticator. So even if my user want to use weak passwords, so still there is another factor of authentication, and the hacker uh, needs to have also, for example, my phone or my YubiKey, and it is not so easy uh, to to take my smartphone. Next, which of the following cyber attacks aims to exhaust an application's resources, making the application unavailable to legitimate users? So, dictionary attack, I think not. SQL injection, So SQL injection is aimed to store my data, not to make my application unavailable to legitimate users. Distributed denial of service, so DDoS. Yes, this is the proper answer, because using the DDoS cyber attack, or using this kind of attack, we can make our applications unavailable to legitimate users. Ransomware, uh, not, because ransomware sometimes can be used to only to single services, and are distributed denial of service. This kind of attack is a kind of attack that attempts to exhaust an application's resources. So it means that, for example, you cannot use your browser, or you cannot use your application, because it seems that, okay, there is not enough memory, or there is not enough processor to run this application. And DDoS attacks can target at any endpoint or service reachable on internet. So this is the proper answer. And next, in this gap, we need to type the proper sentence. So, what is or are used to implement encryption in transit, such as which HTTPS protocol for secure browsing, or certificate-based authentication on secure Wi-Fi networks? So, symmetric encryption, asymmetric encryption, neither symmetric or symmetric, or both symmetric and or asymmetric. So if you are talking about HTTPS, so HTTPS right now, we can think about TLS protocol. So this TLS facilitates HTTPS. So it uses asymmetric encryption to first establish the identity of one or both parties of this encryption in transit. Then it uses asymmetric encryption to exchange a key to a symmetric cipher, and asymmetric is only used during the initial setup of communication. So it means that we need to use both, or symmetric or asymmetric keys. And next, which of the following encryption types uses a public and private key pair for encrypting and decrypting data? And asymmetric encryption, symmetric encryption, hashing, or all of the above? The proper answer for this question is asymmetric encryption, because asymmetric uses a public key and private key pair, so both. And symmetric encryption using only a single key, and this is a single shared key, and this key is used for encryption and decryption. And symmetric encryption uses a single shared key for bulk data encryption, and hashing is a one-way function that does not require a key. So asymmetric, two keys, symmetric only one key. So if we want to have both public and private key pair for encrypting and decrypting data, so we need to think about asymmetric encryption. And Microsoft 6 core privacy principles. If you check uh, something like Microsoft core privacy pillars. And if you check data protection and privacy, for example, in Microsoft Trust Center, so you can find info that control, transparency, security, strong legal protections, no content-based targeting, and benefits to the customers. Microsoft Privacy Report, you can read this document, and you can find in this document information about the pillars, the principles. So if we check to our questions, so I can share this link with you also. If I return to my queries, so first is control, transparency, security, strong legal protections, no content-based targeting for benefits to customers, so to me. Then control, transparency, security, legal standing, non-content-based targeting benefits to me. No, legal standing, this is not the proper answer. Control, transparency, security, strong legal protections, non-content-based targeting, freedom of information. This is not true. And governance, transparency, security, strong legal protections. So not governance. The proper answer is the first answer. So you need to read about the 6 privacy principles, 6 privacy pillars, to know more about the, and you can also check you can also find more about this writing in the query something like zero trust guiding principles. And if you go not zero trust for dummies, okay, for example, this link, what is zero trust, how to understand properly this zero trust, and you can find information about technology pillars, but also about security pillars, and check what is zero trust, what means zero trust, how to work with the principles, how to work with this framework. Next, resources on the Service Trust portal do not include which of the following. So it means that the Service Trust portal provided by Microsoft. This is a portal about security, and I can copy now. Service Trust portal. If you type this, and if you add Microsoft, so we have Microsoft Service Trust portal. I need to click accept, and you can read about certifications, about regulations, about standards, like standards for ISO or SOC, so system and organization controls, different levels like GDPR, like CSA Star, Australian regulatory, Singapore, Spain, and more reports and artifacts. So you can go into this place, and if you check this security trust portal, so we can find information about audit reports from ISO, NIST, and more. Of course, you can go, for example, here, and if you click this link, you can find reports and different documents about, for example, Azure Online Services, and information about the standards, more about the regulatories. Second, Data protection resources, of course, you can find the resources. Azure blueprints for security and compliance, yes. Licensing guidance for Microsoft security solutions. No, it is not possible to find any message about licensing. This is not a portal about licenses. Licensing. This is a portal about security. So you can download the documents if you need to log in, and then you can go to your documents or check the documents. So you can click all documents. First, you need to very often you need to sign in, so you need to create account, and then uh, you can check, for example, documents for different categories. So for different countries, like regional resources, uh, different services, Azure blueprints. So you can find a lot of documents, but not information about licenses and licensing. And the process of proving you are who you say you are is, so the process of proving you are who you say you are is authorization, authentication, single sign-on, or zero trust security. So, of course, the process name is authentication, because authorization means that the system needs to check your permissions, and the system needs to check if you have the proper permissions to access specific service. Authentication means that I need to provide, for example, login and password, and then the system must check if my login and my password are proper or are still up to date, because, for example, I can provide old password and the system can tell me you are a liar, this is not your password. Please provide your proper password, valid password, or please click I forgot my password, I want to reset my password. Single sign-on means that I can log in to some services using data provided, for example, during the login phase to the system. So I don't need to provide uh, every time my credentials. And zero trust security. Zero trust means that we don't trust our users. We know that we have very good users, but we want to check everything. And zero trust means that we need to protect our assets. So next, to the act of granting an authenticated party permissions to do something is, and in this case, this is authorizations. Authorization means that, for example, I can share my screen because me Black allowed me to do this. So I have permissions to share my screen, or even Kamil today. He did this. Then next question, Entra ID. So Entra ID, formerly Azure Active Directory, can be configured to allow users to authenticate with their social identities. So third parties, we can use third-party providers like such as Facebook or Google. In this scenario, Facebook and Google are serving us and choose the best answer. Service principals, identity providers, trusted entities, or managed identities. So I'm 100% sure that in this case, Facebook and Google are serving as identity providers. Why? Because when I want to log in, for example, to I can even show you that, okay, I have Notion, my private Notion, so I need to check. Let me check only if this is a proper link. Okay, yeah, this is a proper link. So, for example, I know some. I am using Notion, and I can click login. And if I click login, let me check. Okay, I don't want to share with you sensitive data. So Notion allows me to continue this authentication with Google, with Apple credentials, continue with Microsoft credentials, log in with passkey or single sign-on. So single sign-on means that I have I can use my company's account, so work account, and single sign-on allows me to use enterprise application, enterprise version of this application. But continue with Microsoft. Later, if you go to the Microsoft Entra, you can find information that okay, it was a case, or there is entry with information that okay, Beata was using a Microsoft account to log into Notion, and also information you always need to read which information must be shared with, sorry, which information must be shared with, okay. And as you see, account, I need to provide details for Microsoft account, and you need to read information which data will be shared with Notion, because it means that Microsoft, from Microsoft account, um, some data will be taken and shared with Notion, and you need to think if you want to share the data. In my opinion, it is not worth. So I use email and password, and also, if it is possible, MFA. So in this case, Facebook and Google, they are identity providers. Next, what is the relationship type that allows federated services to access resources? So in this case, the proper answer is trust relationship. So it means that we have two different tenants, and if we want to share data between the tenants, so we need to create trust relationship, and then why Federation relies on a trust relationship to allow access to resources for, of course, authenticated entities. And then, which of the following identity attacks attempts to match a username against a list of weak password? So this is not a spear phishing, because spear phishing means that we want to create a phishing campaign, and phishing means that I don't think about the targets, I don't think about the users. I need to prepare, for example, a fake phishing email, and I need to have a hope that okay, someone maybe trust me and maybe click the link with malicious content from my phishing email. Spear phishing, and this is phishing attack. Spear phishing means that we need to prepare for this attack, and we don't want to send our phishing email to everyone. We want to share our fake email with specific people, so we can use OSINT, and we can try to find more information about this person. For example, we can observe her or his LinkedIn account. maybe information about employer, maybe information about position, maybe information, for example, about conferences, and then we can prepare a personal attack, especially for this person, and very often this attack is more effective. Then we want to prepare attack that attempts to match a username against a list of weak passwords. Password spray attack. This is exactly what we need to. This is the proper answer in this case. Why? Because password spray attack. If you type, for example, in the internet, a list of weak passwords. So, worst password of 2025. So you can check if your password is on this list. If not, so it is okay. If yes, you need to replace this password, because the first password is 12345, then password, then Kuverte, then admin, Kuverte 123. I love you I love you the second the 11th position, then welcome, then secret, then password, dragon, monkey, football, password 123, let me in, sunshine, baseball, 50 different passwords. So you can check, and probably nice one like security, so the irony, and we can use attack that will try to check always the username, compare the username with this list of weak passwords, and then brute force attack. Brute force attack means that we try to guess the proper password. So I think that this password spray attack attempts to match a username against a list of weak passwords, and you can find more information, more info, if we click something like if you go to Microsoft Learn. So in Microsoft Learn, you can find something like this is identity principles, concepts, and if you check Learn, Microsoft Learn, so okay, describe identity, okay, typo, principal constant, okay. And oh my god, too many typos. Okay. And describe identity concept. So you can read about this different concept, and you can find information about password spray attack. Okay, so next question. Which of the following cloud solutions provides capabilities such as multi-factor authentication, identity protection, and role-based access control? So, Azure Blueprints, no, because Azure Blueprints mean different documents with standards, with best practices. Intune app protection policies. Now this is related to Microsoft Intune. Azure initiatives. No, totally not. So the proper answer must be Entra ID. So formerly Azure Active Directory. And because in Azure Active Directory you can in Azure Active Directory, sorry for that, but in Azure Active Directory, formerly now Entra ID, you can find information about multi-factor authentication. You can decide if you want to set up this multi-factor authentication for all users, or only for admin, or only for specific users. How to protect identities. You can check airbag. You can assign users to different roles, and role-based access control exactly in Entra ID. And then, which of the following is not an Entra ID identity type? So, user, yeah, we have users in Entra ID. We have devices. We can work with internal and external users. So, for example, external can be contractor, external can be, for example, guest. So, member is not an identity type available in Microsoft Entra ID. This is rather a value set on the user identity. So, I, as a user in Entra ID, I can be a member of specific group or groups. So I am a member of group, but there is no such identity type as like member. So also you can find this information when you check the resources like Microsoft Entra, like Microsoft Learn. Next, the two types of external identities are Entra ID guest and members, work accounts and social identities, Entra ID accounts and Microsoft accounts, formerly Live ID, or Entra ID B2B and B2C. So business to business and business to customer. And external identities, yeah, I can join Entra ID, or I can join Entra ID tenant as another business, so another company, and we can cooperate together, or I can join as a customer. And Entra ID business to B2B allows secure collaboration between organization using, for example, their work accounts. So I have my own account, and I can, for example, check resources in other tenants. And Entra ID B2C is a customer identity access management solution, enabling customer to logging to their directories with social identity like Google or, for example, Facebook. So this is the proper answer. And which of the following is an advantage of single sign-on? User passwords expire less frequently. Expiration, it depends, because it can be our company policy, it can be our organization policy, but it can be also a global policy. So now now you can find recommendation that your password should be long and complex. Long, so means minimum 12 characters, complex, so small letters, capital letters, but also numbers and special signs, special characters. Then the user sign in once and can then access many applications or resources. Yeah, exactly, this is true. For example, I can use my account, my Microsoft account, and first I can log into to my computer using work account, and then I can log into Microsoft 365, and Microsoft will not ask me about the credentials. So it leverages a single centralized identity provider. No, it is not true, and all of the above, no. So the proper answer is the second answer, because with um, SSO, uh, it can be a central identity provider used by our organization. So it isn't a benefit of single sign-on. The real benefit is that user signs only once. Then, which of the following is not a feature of Entra ID self-service password reset? So Entra ID self-service password reset. This is a service which allows us as a users or me as a user to reset my password. So for example, I can click a link and I can reset my password, and which of these features is not a feature of Entra ID self-service password reset? So first, password change, when user knows password but wants to change. Yeah, this is a true. So okay, I'm a speaker and I'm also a trainer, and why I don't want to show you how I am logging? Because very often I like to say my passwords aloud. So it means that by mistake I can share with you my password, and I don't want to do this. So for example, last time uh, I provided my GitHub password with my students, and I needed to tell them, okay, I need to change my password. So in this case, we know the old password. We don't forgot. We didn't forget this password, but we want to change or replace this password. So yeah, this is true. Then password reset when forgot password or password expired. Yeah, this is true. Very often when you are when you are students or workers or employees, probably you saw a notification that you need to change your password, and 10 days left, 5 days left, 2 days left, and then, oh my God, I forgot to change my password. So I need to reset my password. Then password set when account is disabled. No, it is not possible to do with self-service password reset. And password unlock when account is locked out. Yeah, you can do this. So when account is disabled, so it means that you cannot set a new password. Of course, uh, for security reason. So it means that you can modify your password only if your password if your account is enabled. Next. Which of the following Entra ID features protects user from password spray attacks and bans them from using weak passwords in a global list of banned passwords when setting or resetting their password? So there is a special service or feature, and self-service password reset means that I can change or reset my password without any admins, any calls, and any emails. I can do this myself. Identity protection. Now this is about my identity. Password protection. Yeah, exactly. Password protection in Enter-ID reduces the risk of our users setting weak passwords by detecting and blocking no weak passwords from a global banned password list. So it means that, for example, next time if you need to change your password to, for example, Office 365, if you type password like p at $w0 rd or w.rd. So probably you will see a message that you cannot use this password because this is a very popular password and you need to change this password. And conditional access, and of course it can be global, a list of banned password, but also it can be custom banned password list maintained by customers, so we can create our own list. And I want to check if you are still with me. Do you know um, a very stupid password or a technique how to create a password simple to guess? Passwords. First, now we have October, so to create a password which can be in theory strong password, but in reality not. So, for example, October, and you can change all with null or with zero, or and to add 2025, and there is it must be capital letter, small letter, lower character, then number, then special character, and you can use this password. So it can be your own. For example, the names of your employees' cats. So yeah, the name of the cats should be on this banned list. Why? Because I had previously a password like my cat's name and Ayer. And the service told me that I need to change this password. Why? Because very often you can find that it can be, for example, two characters like, or numbers in sequence like 1, 2, 3. So you need to modify this. And conditional access you can set up in Enter-ID also. And conditional access means that, for example, if you are a risk user, so as a risk user, you need to use, for example, MFA, or to have access to specific resource, uh, you need to use a special tool, or you need to do other steps to pass the rules. Then, which of the following is discouraged as a secondary authentication factor due to known vulnerabilities? Microsoft Authenticator app, voice call, SMS, so short message system, or OAuth hardware token. So, do you have any idea which of the following you shouldn't use? Okay, I suppose that this application or this quiz was created sometimes ago, because now voice call, we have a lot of deepfakes, so we can, for example, use AI to modify another voice, and for example, to prepare a fake voice call, But Microsoft Authenticator app, this is a recommended app when you want to set up MFA for Office 365 or, for example, Azure. Voice call, yes, still it is more safe to call to someone and, for example, to ask, okay, do you need really my Blick code, or it is a fake and someone wants to use your account to steal my money? Then short message system. So yeah, this is the proper answer, because there's a lot of different attacks, such as, for example, SIM swap attacks, and why uh, SMS messages are considered relatively weak as a second factor, and therefore is discouraged. So voice call is the one secondary method that cannot be disabled. So first, short messages. So it is not recommended to use as a messages, but if needed, you need to know that, okay, also you need to think about security of your smartphones, not only laptop but also smartphones. So next, which of the following statements accurately depicts a difference between Windows Hello and Windows Hello for Business? So if you are Windows users, so if you are using a Windows operating system, so probably you heard about Windows Hello. And Windows Hello, we have two different services. First, Windows Hello is for personal devices, while Windows Hello for Business is for managed devices. So managed devices managed by MDM. So, for example, Microsoft Intune, and using configurations in Microsoft Intune, I can set up a setting, and I can say that, okay, when you are using work devices, so you need to use Windows Hello to log in to this device. Windows Hello uses a key-based or certificate-based authentication factor. uh, Windows Hello for Business can uses a key-based or certificate-based authentication factor when Windows Hello uses a PIN or biometric authentication. So it means that in this answer, it is not true, because in this case we are talking about Windows Hello for Business. For example, certificate-based authentication, or key-based or keys, and Windows Hello, it is rather PIN, or it can be PIN only with numbers, or PIN with numbers and characters, or biometric authentication, like, I don't know, to check your face or to use your fingerprint. So the proper answer is this one. You need to implement multi-factor authentication for your Entra ID users. However, you only want to prompt for an additional authentication factor when users are not in a trusted location on an unmanaged device. Which feature should you implement? Choose the best answer. So in this case, when we want only to prompt for additional authentication factor when user is not in a trusted location on unmanaged device. So unmanaged device means my personal device. So for example, I want to log in to my mailbox work mailbox using my personal smartphone because the employer didn't give me a smartphone or a phone. So I want to use my private phone, and I want to use this private phone, for example, to log into Teams or to Outlook, and we don't want to, or our company doesn't want to tell me, okay, you need to use multi-factor authentication. It should be only information that for your security, we recommend you to use multi-factor authenticator. So this is a purpose of entry conditional access, so we can decide which location, trusted location. So for example, it can be my static IP address, my home IP address by static, or when I am working from company network. So I am in company, and I am using company network. So entry password protection, when we want to protect our password, for example, to remove weak password from our system, and privileged identity management. This is about how to manage accesses, and conditional access. Policies from conditional access bring a lot of benefits to authentication and authorization processes, including, for example, enabling selectively prompting user for a secondary authentication factor based on user location, app selection, device compliance, or managed state, and also sign-in risk. And next, which of the following is not a benefit of entry conditional access policies? So, improves user productivity by only prompting for a secondary authentication factor when conditions indicate. Yeah, this is a benefit of entry conditional access. So it means that this message when conditions indicate, so it means that, okay, I am on vacation, and on this vacation or in a trip, I want to log in from hotel's network using my private laptop or my private smartphone, and I want to log into my work email or work teams to check messages, what happened in the company, if they still miss me, if they still think about me or not, or maybe forgot about me, so I need to write something. And then if the conditions indicate, so it means that, okay, I am in not trusted location, I am not using my company's network, so it means that I need to use MFA. Then manages risk by factoring identity protection risk detection in user authentication attempts. Yeah, this is a benefit because we can find information about risky users, about risky tries, so we know exactly how many times the user wanted to or try it to type the proper password. So next, improves identity governance through auditing and restricting access based on device compliance. Yeah, exactly. We can monitor our user devices. We can check the compliance status, if this device, specific device, is compliant or not. And proper answer, managed device state by implementing device compliance policies to measure device compliance. This is not true. Why? because while the first three items or the first three options are benefits of conditional access policies, so the device compliance policies are implemented through Microsoft Intune. So Microsoft is responsible for implementing device and compliance policies, not Microsoft Enter ID conditional access. And which of the following is not a benefit, the benefit of Entra ID roles? So easy assignment of permissions. Yeah, it is very easy to, for example, to assign a user to a new role or to remove from the role. Then supports least privilege in implementation. Yeah, this is true because using Enter ID and using airbag, I can choose from hundreds of different roles, and for example, I can decide if the role should be reader, maybe contributor, maybe owner, maybe this role. Maybe I can give permission to be a keyboard reader, or maybe only a certificate reader, or maybe certificate contributor. So different levels, and I can choose the uh, this role with least privilege, uh, the lowest permissions, and then protects the user from sign-in risk. This is not a benefit of Entra ID roles. This is a benefit of conditional access. So Microsoft Entra ID conditional access, and this is even identity protection. So and enables role specific delegations. Yeah, it is true. So while Entra ID roles is role assignment is delegation scenarios and implementation of least privilege, it is Entra ID identity protection that supports detections of user risk and sign-in risk. So, for example, if you very often wanted to sign in and you forgot, and you still didn't remember your password, so it means that you can be a risk user of if you wanted to visit unsafe pages, unsafe websites. And with privileged identity management, users can not only activate their own eligible roles, but if desired, can also self-review their roles during scheduled access review. This is true because PIM, so privileged identity management, allows users to activate eligible roles themselves while offering notification of role activation to other admins, as well as optional manager approval. And if desired, PIM access reviews can be configured to allow users to self-review and then automatically apply changes based on user response. So what it means with privileged identity management, for example, someone can assign me a new role, and then I can go and I can click activate. So if I think that I need this role, so I can click activate, and it means that I can decide when I want to activate this role. And the probability that a given authentication request is not a request by the identity owner is referred to as user risk. No, this is not true, because the two types of risk defined in the identity protection feature in Entra ID are user risk and sign-in risk. And user, in this case, the probability that a given authentication request is not a request by the identity owner is referred to as user risk. User risk represents the probability that a given identity or account is compromised. So it means that the owner or the administrator can think, okay, Beata's account was compromised, and sign-in risk represent the probability that a given authentication request isn't authorized by the identity owner. So it means that in this case, the statement is true, will be true if we check user risk with sign-in risk. And I think that it can be the last question because 1 hour, because I talked by 1 hour, but in this case, you can of course read Microsoft Learn resources, but also do more questions. And if you go to my entry, so you can visit Robert Przybylski blog about identity and Azure Cloud, but also you can go and you can check practice assessment. Practice assessment means 50 questions from Microsoft. I don't want to log in, so you need to log in. You need to log in, and you can check. The questions. 50 different questions. If you need to find more information or more, if you think that you don't know a lot about SC-900, so go to Microsoft Learn and read about main concepts. So 4 parts, 4 modules, every module about, for example, defense in depth. So what means from data through the application, compute, network, perimeter, identity, and access to physical security, and about CA triage, and zero trust model. So you can read about CEA, so confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So what means, and SIA triad. Okay, SIA triad. And trust model, more and more and more you can read. And also 6 foundations, 6 pillars. So identities, devices, applications, data, infrastructure, and networks. Then encryption and hashing, about symmetric encryption, about asymmetric encryption. So if you don't know the proper answer, you can go into Microsoft Learn, read about this, and return to this quiz and check for the proper answer. So I think it can be enough for today. And of course, if you have any question, so please join our Discord, our Not the Hidden Wikis Discord, and let us know that you have questions, and we will try to help you. So thank you very much.